Over 95% of people who own cars have no idea these car hacks actually work, and some of these tricks save you $3,000. Not only that, one of these hacks can prevent fixes that detailers make thousands of dollars every month, and repair shops don't share these with you. Let's dive in with hack number 15, Vaseline for instant interior trim restoration. The petroleum jelly deeply moisturizes the plastic, restoring its original color and flexibility, while leaving a subtle sheen that looks like you just walked out of a professional detail shop. A small tub of Vaseline costs about $3 and can treat your entire interior multiple times over. And here's the kicker. Vaseline also works on your rubber door seals, keeping them soft and pliable so they seal properly and don't crack in extreme cold. What they don't tell you is that dry, cracked interior plastic becomes brittle over time and starts to crumble and flake. And once it reaches that point, you're looking at expensive panel replacements. But wait, if that interior hack just saved you money, this next one is about to make your jaw drop. Hack number 14, hairdryer to pop out car dents. You've got a small dent in your door or fender. It's not huge, but it's noticeable enough to bother you every single time you look at it. Body shops are quoting you $150 to $300 for paintless dent removal. But here's what most drivers miss. Many small dents can be popped right out at home with nothing more than a hairdryer and a can of compressed air. Heat the dented area with your hairdryer on high for about 2 to 3 minutes. Get the metal nice and warm to the touch. Then immediately spray the heated area with compressed air held upside down. The rapid temperature change causes the metal to contract suddenly, and the dent pops right out. This works best on shallow dents without creases or paint damage. One can of compressed air costs about $6 and can fix multiple dents. And here's the kicker. This same technique works on plastic bumpers, though you need to be more careful with the heat to avoid warping the plastic. What they don't tell you is that leaving dents unrepaired can lead to paint cracking and rust forming over time, turning a simple cosmetic issue into a serious and expensive corrosion problem. Your dent is gone. But let's talk about a secret hiding inside your key fob that will completely change your game. Hack number 13, mechanical key for instant emergency access. Your key fob battery just died. You're standing in a parking lot, locked out of your car, and you're about to call a locksmith who's going to charge you $100 or more just to show up. And the whole time, the solution has been sitting right in your hand without you even knowing it. But here's what most drivers completely miss. Every modern key fob has a physical mechanical key hidden inside it. Look for a small release button or latch on the side of your fob. Press it and slide out the hidden blade key tucked inside. That key opens your car door directly. No battery, no signal, no app required. It's a factory feature that's been built into virtually every car for decades, and the vast majority of drivers have never once used it. This costs you absolutely nothing because it's already built into the key fob you carry every single day. And here's the kicker. That same hidden key opens your trunk on most vehicles, and in some cars it can even start the engine by inserting it into a backup slot near the steering column. What they don't tell you is that locksmiths and roadside assistance companies make a fortune off drivers who simply don't know this trick exists. Who knew your key fob has been hiding this trick this entire time? This next hack will save you thousands at the detail shop. Hack number 12, orange peel for crystal clear headlight lenses. Your headlights are getting hazy and yellowed. The oxidation is making them look terrible, and your nighttime visibility is suffering because the light output is being blocked by that cloudy buildup. Professional headlight restoration costs $80 to $120, and those kits at the auto parts store are hit or miss at best. Most drivers just accept cloudy headlights as inevitable aging. But here's the hack that actually works. The peel of a regular orange. Rub the inside of a fresh orange peel directly onto your headlight lens, using firm circular motions for about 2 to 3 minutes. The natural oils and citric compounds in the peel break down the oxidation layer sitting on the surface of the plastic. Wipe it clean with a microfiber cloth and buff it dry. Your headlights will look noticeably clearer immediately. One orange costs about 50 cents and can restore both headlights in a single session. And here's the kicker. Orange peel also leaves behind a thin layer of natural oils that slow down the reoxidation process, giving you longer lasting results than most commercial products. What they don't tell you is that oxidized headlights can reduce your light output by up to 70%, making night driving genuinely dangerous and potentially illegal in some states. Speaking of surprising tricks, this next one will save your paint and will definitely shock you. Hack number 11, Toothpaste to seal surface paint scratches. You've got a fresh scratch on your car's paint. It's not deep enough to feel with your fingernail, but it's definitely visible and catching the light in an annoying way. Body shops quote you hundreds for a proper repair, and touch-up paint kits from the dealer cost $30 to $50 with no guarantee of an exact color match. But here's what they don't tell you. Regular white toothpaste can buff out and seal surface scratches for pennies on the dollar. Clean the scratched area thoroughly and make sure it's completely dry. Apply a small amount of white toothpaste onto a damp cloth and scrub directly over the scratch in tight circular motions. The mild abrasives in the toothpaste gently polish the clear coat, reducing the appearance of the scratch and smoothing out the surface around it. Wipe away the residue with a clean cloth and buff dry. One tube of toothpaste costs about $2 and can treat dozens of minor scratches. And here's the kicker. For slightly deeper scratches, apply a thin layer of clear nail polish after the toothpaste treatment to fully seal the exposed area and lock out moisture. What they don't tell you is that untreated surface scratches allow moisture to sneak underneath the clear coat and cause rust that spreads silently beneath the paint. Before we get to the really mind-blowing hacks, do me a favor, hit that like button. We spent hours researching these tricks, and it genuinely helps us make more content like this. Done? Awesome. Now this next one will make your car windows 10 times smoother and save you money on repairs. Hack number 10. Silicone spray for smooth and silent car windows. Your car windows are sticking, squeaking, and dragging every time you roll them up or down. The rubber seals around the glass are dry and grabbing the window instead of letting it glide. It's getting worse every week, and you're worried the window motor is going to burn out from the extra strain. But here's what most drivers miss. Your windows aren't broken. The rubber seals are just dried out and creating friction, and it takes about 60 seconds to fix. Grab a can of silicone spray, not WD-40, specifically silicone lubricant. Spray it directly onto the rubber window seals and channels along the top and sides of your door frame. Roll the window up and down several times to work the silicone into the rubber. Instantly, the window glides up and down smoothly and silently with zero resistance. A can of silicone spray costs about $6 and will last you years for this purpose. And here's the kicker. Silicone spray also protects the rubber seals from cracking and drying out in UV light, extending their lifespan by years and keeping your windows weather-tight. What they don't tell you is that sticky, dragging windows put massive strain on your window motor every single time you use them. And that extra strain is exactly what causes premature motor failure. This next one will shock you. Hack number 9. Magic eraser for a spotless interior windshield. Your windshield is covered in a greasy, hazy film on the inside. You've cleaned it with glass cleaner, paper towels, and microfiber cloths, but that stubborn film just smears around no matter what you do. It's especially bad at night when oncoming headlights scatter across the haze and completely destroy your visibility. Most drivers just live with the film or assume their glass cleaner isn't strong enough. But here's the genius hack. A plain white magic eraser. Dampen the magic eraser slightly with water and wipe it across the interior surface of your windshield in straight overlapping passes. The micro-abrasive foam cuts through the built-up film of off-gassing chemicals from your dashboard plastics, smoke residue, and greasy fingerprints that glass cleaner alone can't remove. Follow up with a dry microfiber cloth to buff it completely clear. A pack of magic erasers costs about $4 and can clean your entire windshield multiple times. And here's the kicker. This same trick works on all your interior glass, including the rear window and side windows, giving you crystal clear visibility all the way around. What they don't tell you is that interior windshield haze dramatically increases glare from oncoming headlights and the sun, turning a minor visibility issue into a genuinely dangerous driving condition. But we are just getting warmed up. This next one will completely change how you think about your seatbelt. Hack number 8, WD-40 to restore stuck car seatbelts. Your seatbelt is sticking, retracting slowly, or getting jammed halfway. You pull it out and it fights you every time, or it won't retract smoothly and just hangs loose across your chest. A seatbelt replacement at a shop runs anywhere from $200 to $400, and mechanics make it sound like a complicated job that requires special tools and expertise. But here's what most drivers miss. A stuck or slow seatbelt is almost always caused by dirt and grime jamming up the retractor mechanism, and you can fix it in minutes. Pull the seatbelt all the way out to its full length. Spray a small amount of WD-40 onto a clean cloth and wipe down the entire length of the belt webbing thoroughly. Then spray a tiny amount directly into the retractor housing where the belt feeds in. Let it sit for a minute, then slowly allow the belt to retract. The WD-40 dissolves the built-up grime, lubricates the retractor spring, and lets the mechanism move freely again. A can of WD-40 costs about $6 and will handle this job dozens of times over. And here's the kicker. This same technique works on seatbelts that have gotten stiff and scratchy from sun exposure and age, restoring the webbing to a soft, smooth feel. What they don't tell you is that a slow or stuck seatbelt in an emergency stop or collision can mean the difference between the belt holding you in place or failing to lock at the critical moment. This next one uses something from your liquor cabinet, and it will definitely surprise you. Hack number 7, vodka for streak-free wiper fluid. Your windshield washer fluid keeps freezing in cold weather, leaving you with a useless squirter right when you need it most. You're driving behind a salt truck in winter, and your windshield is getting pelted with grime, and nothing is coming out of those nozzles. Or your current fluid is leaving streaky residue across the glass every time you use it. Most drivers just buy pre-mixed washer fluid without thinking twice. But here's the hack. Plain cheap vodka mixed with water makes a better washer fluid than most of the stuff sold at auto parts stores. Mix 1 part vodka with 3 parts water in your washer fluid reservoir. The alcohol content in the vodka acts as an antifreeze, keeping the fluid from freezing down to well below 30 degrees. It also cuts through road grime, bug splatter, and oily film on the glass without leaving streaks or residue behind. A cheap bottle of vodka costs about $8 and can refill your washer reservoir multiple times. And here's the kicker. Unlike commercial washer fluids that contain methanol, vodka is non-toxic, so it's safer around kids, pets, and the environment. What they don't tell you is that driving without the ability to clean your windshield in winter conditions is a genuine safety hazard that can get you ticketed in some states. This next one will shock you a lot. Hack number 6, black shoe polish for faded exterior trim. Your black plastic trim has faded to an ugly washed out grey. The door handles, side mirror covers, bumper trim, and window moldings look neglected and old. And they make your whole car look like it's been through the ringer, even if the paint is still perfect. Trim restoration products at the auto parts store cost $15 to $20 and only last a few weeks before the grey comes right back. Most drivers just accept the faded look or start pricing out trim replacement. But here's the hack that actually works long term. Black shoe polish, the paste kind you use for leather shoes. Apply a thin layer of black shoe polish to all your faded exterior trim using a cloth or applicator pad. Work it into the plastic thoroughly, making sure you cover every surface. Let it sit for about 5 minutes, then buff away the excess with a clean cloth. The trim instantly transforms back to a deep, rich black that looks factory fresh. 1 tin of shoe polish costs about $5 and can restore all the trim on your car multiple times. And here's the kicker. Shoe polish contains waxes and dyes that actually penetrate the plastic, providing color and protection that lasts for months, not weeks. What they don't tell you is that the UV damage that causes fading also makes the plastic brittle underneath, and brittle plastic cracks and breaks under pressure, leading to expensive panel replacements down the road. Now for a secret car feature inside your car that can save your life in an emergency. Hack number 5, hazard light double tap for emergency lane signaling. You're merging onto the highway and traffic suddenly stops dead in front of you. You slam on your brakes and stop in time, but the driver behind you had no warning and nearly rear ends you. Most drivers just flip on their hazards and hope for the best. But here's what most drivers miss. A quick double tap of your hazard button the moment you brake hard sends an immediate visual signal to every driver behind you that something urgent is happening ahead. When you hit your hazards in rapid succession while braking, the flashing pattern is dramatically more noticeable than standard brake lights alone. Drivers behind you register the hazard flash faster than a simple brake light, giving them a critical extra fraction of a second to react. In highway driving, that fraction of a second can be the difference between a close call and a serious collision. This costs you absolutely nothing because the button is already on your dashboard. And here's the kicker. Many newer vehicles in Europe have automatic emergency brake light flashing built in as a safety feature. This hack lets you replicate that feature manually on any car, old or new. What they don't tell you is that rear-end collisions are among the most common accidents on the highway, and the vast majority of them happen because the trailing driver simply didn't get enough visual warning in time. Now let's talk about your tires and a trick that feels almost too easy. Hack number 4, olive oil for instant tire shine restoration. Your tires are looking faded, brown and dry. The sidewalls have lost that deep black finish and instead look chalky and neglected, making your whole car look older than it is. Tire shine products at the auto parts store cost $10 to $15 and spray on so unevenly that half of it ends up on your wheel well. But here's what they don't tell you. A small amount of olive oil gives you a deeper, longer-lasting tire shine than most commercial products on the market. After washing your tires and letting them dry completely, put a small amount of olive oil onto a clean cloth and wipe it evenly across the entire sidewall of each tire. The oil penetrates the rubber, restoring moisture and bringing back that deep, rich black color. Buff away any excess so you don't create a slippery overspray on your wheels. A $5 bottle of olive oil can shine every tire on your car multiple times over, and here's the kicker. Olive oil also conditions the rubber, slowing down the browning and cracking that happens when tires dry out from UV exposure and road chemicals. What they don't tell you is that dry, cracked tire sidewalls are a sign that the rubber is degrading, and degraded rubber is more vulnerable to blowouts, especially in extreme heat or at highway speeds. Now let's talk about something under your hood that most drivers completely ignore until it's too late. Hack number 3, brake fluid flush to stop dangerous brake fade. Your brakes feel soft and spongy. The pedal is traveling further down than it used to before the brakes actually bite, and you've noticed your stopping distances getting longer. You've had your brake pads checked and they're fine, so you can't figure out what the problem is. But here's what they don't tell you. The problem is almost certainly your brake fluid, and flushing it yourself costs about $15 and takes 30 minutes. Brake fluid absorbs moisture from the air over time, and that moisture lowers its boiling point dramatically. When your brakes get hot from heavy use, the contaminated fluid can actually boil inside the lines, creating vapor bubbles that compress under pressure and give you that soft, spongy pedal. Pick up a bottle of fresh brake fluid matching your car's spec, open the reservoir under your hood, and use a turkey baster to remove the old fluid. Refill with fresh fluid and have a helper pump the brakes while you open each bleeder valve to push the old fluid out. A bottle of brake fluid costs about $8, and this job can save you hundreds in unnecessary brake system repairs. And here's the kicker. Fresh brake fluid also protects the rubber seals and metal components inside your calipers and master cylinder from corrosion, extending the life of your entire brake system. What they don't tell you is that brake fluid should be flushed every 2 years, regardless of mileage. But mechanics rarely bring it up because it's a job most drivers can do themselves. Now, for a trick so simple, it's almost embarrassing that car manufacturers don't tell you about it. This is a car feature almost nobody talks about but saves you a lot of time. Hack number 2, gas cap holder for instant fueling convenience. You pull up to the gas pump, unscrew your gas cap, and then stand there holding it awkwardly or balancing it on top of your car while you pump. Half the time, it falls on the ground and rolls under the car. But here's what most drivers completely miss. Your gas cap door has a built-in holder for the cap that almost nobody uses. Look at the inside of your fuel door when it's open. On the vast majority of vehicles, there is a small notch, hook, or slot built directly into the fuel door panel. Just hang or clip your gas cap right onto it while you pump. It holds the cap securely, keeps it off the ground, and makes it impossible to accidentally drive away without it. This costs you absolutely nothing because it's already built into your car. And here's the kicker. This feature has been standard on most vehicles for decades, and the vast majority of drivers have fueled up thousands of times without ever noticing it was there. What they don't tell you is that a missing gas cap triggers your check engine light, allows fuel vapors to escape, which reduces your fuel efficiency, and can cause your car to fail an emissions inspection. Now for the number 1 hack you have been waiting for. This will transform your car seats to be 1,000 times cleaner. Hack number 1, baking soda for a deep clean car seat. Your car seats are absolutely disgusting. There are stains, odors, and ground-in grime that have been building up for months or even years. The fabric smells musty, and the whole interior has that stale smell that no air freshener can cover up. But here's what most drivers miss. Baking soda is the most powerful and most overlooked car seat cleaner you can get your hands on, and it costs about $1. Sprinkle a generous amount of baking soda directly over your car seats, working it into the fabric with a soft brush. Let it sit for at least 30 minutes, or overnight for really stubborn odors. The baking soda penetrates deep into the fibers, neutralizing the acids that cause odors rather than just masking them. Then vacuum it all up thoroughly. For stains, make a paste of baking soda and a small amount of water. Apply it directly to the stain, let it dry completely, and vacuum it away. If this video just saved you from expensive repair bills, or made you realize you can solve car problems with stuff already sitting in your house, hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Your wallet is going to thank you for sticking around. And did you know there are even more car hacks that could save you serious money? Click this video next. You will not regret it.